David Wilk, and I am in Washington, D.C. for GridWeek, the premier event when talking about the smart grid. This year, we're anticipating more than 1,500 attendees and 200 speakers, all tackling issues on the smart grid. Anybody who is anyone in smart grid is here this week. I was lucky enough to catch up with Anto Budiarjo, the president and CEO of Clasma, to talk about preparation for this event. Well, Anto, this is kind of the calm before the storm, is it not?
Yes, indeed, Dave. It is. It is indeed.
Tomorrow at this time, this will be packed wall to wall with people.
Yep.
My question to you is smart grid. Why now?
Why not? I think over the past few years, as we've seen in GridWeek, that the subject of smart grid has become really caught on as being a critical element of the future of energy, the future of clean energy for the US as well as globally. And people are starting to realize that with renewables and electric vehicles and a lot of other sort of renewable energy that's going to come on stream, you can't do any of that without smart grid.
You know, with so many smart grid stakeholders in town, some are calling this the Smart Grid National Convention. This is truly an issue that both parties can get behind. It really is a bipartisan issue. I've even heard rumors that stemming from smart grid is a new party called the Collaboration Party. And I was actually able to catch up with Chris Hickman, the president of Innovari, and he was telling me the importance of GridWeek being held in DC.
It's such a critical juncture for our national policy for energy, both legislative as well as regulatory. It is crucial for us to be able to find a venue here in Washington, D.C. where we can bring all of the stakeholders to collaborate to help create the most informed decision-making process as we change the whole scope of the future of our energy industry.
How can the attendees' voice be heard on Capitol Hill? What would you tell them?
I think there's a lot of ways to do it. The opportunity here at GridWeek is just all the key players are here, so you can talk to the people making the decisions at the show. Additionally, Clasma's created, with this collaboration, a brand new website. DOE has issued an RFI to get information about the future of the smart grid.
And Chris, the website is?
GridWeek.com, and on the right-hand side, there's a link to the conversation for the DOE RFI.
Folks, I will be back with more exclusive interviews from GridWeek following this word from our new sponsor.
With the potential to reduce CO2 emissions by up to 2.2 gigatons annually by 2050, and with over $200 billion in global spending estimated between 2008 and 2015, the development of smart grid presents tremendous environmental and economic opportunities. But to succeed globally will require worldwide standards, consumer acceptance, and collaboration. Vote for the Collaboration Party this fall, bringing together utilities, policymakers, regulators, technology companies, and investors to foster international dialogue. Our economy, environment, and future generations are depending on us. Paid for by the Collaboration Party, not funded or endorsed by any individual candidate.
As you can tell, collaboration is a big part of GridWeek, and today we focused on international collaboration. I had the opportunity to catch up with Shannon Fraser from the U.S. Department of Commerce to discuss international collaboration. What is DOC's role in this year's GridWeek?
We're very excited about taking part in this year's conference. Last year, NIST was very engaged in the domestic standards process, but what we're finding over the past year is that there's been more international coordination and collaboration on smart grid projects, both from a standards perspective and an international trade perspective.
Well, how important is it that all the countries come together and really discuss smart grid?
That's a very good point. What we've found over the past year is that many countries are engaging on smart grid within their borders. So there's been a lot of pilot projects, stimulus bills that have been going on throughout Europe, Asia, and Latin America. And this is a perfect venue to bring all those parties together.
I also managed to speak with Senior Commercial Officer of the EU, Val Houston. How important is the international collaboration to the success of smart grid?
International collaboration is very important to the success of smart grids, particularly American companies that are trying to be successful in the European market, because the European Union is developing regulations and standards very quickly, and they need to be able to understand those regulations to be successful in that market.
Well, there you have it, Grid Week officially in full swing. Now, I will be covering the event live every morning from the floor of the convention center. So, we'll see you later.